Who is the Magic Man?
Checking out Pavel Datsyuk.
Got his head up nice.
Whoa!
Oh, and Greer.
Here's Pavel Datsyuk. He shoots. He scores.
Datsyuk will move it up ice. Datsyuk, Zetterberg a trailer. Look at Datsyuk in scores. What a goal! What a goal!
And Brett Hall a perfect feed. Pavel Datsyuk in the clear all alone. Oh, what a goal! Oh, put that in your highlight reel, baby. You do that in practice, but to do it in a game. But he'll dazzle you. Here he comes. Datsyuk in on goal. And he dazzled again. What a beautiful goal.
Datsyuk moves in, toes it up, score!
That is Pavel Datsyuk.
Power play installment. Away to the races. Datsyuk. Short-handed. In the clear. Scores!
A two-time Stanley Cup champion, a four-time Lady Byng winner, a three-time Selke Trophy winner, one of the NHL's 100 greatest players, and now a Hall of Famer. Yeah, this guy was nothing short of magical, wasn't he? Do you remember when one of the most popular phrases in hockey during the early 2010s was dangle, snipe, celly? I'm pretty sure that saying was practically made for Pavel Datsyuk. To me, Datsyuk stands out as the most skilled player to ever grace the game. He revolutionized hockey, shaping the way countless future superstars approach the sport today. His brilliance wasn't confined to just scoring goals or pulling off jaw-dropping dekes. It was the complete package. The way he dominated on both the defensive and offensive sides of the puck was something truly extraordinary. A style of play that may never be replicated again. Pavel Datsyuk had a way of making defenders look like amateurs. One moment they'd think they had him contained, and the next he'd hustle back, strip the puck from an unsuspecting forward, and set off to work his magic all over again. His ability to read the game was uncanny, much like Wayne Gretzky. Much like the Great One, Datsyuk seemed to exist 2 steps ahead of everyone else on the ice. It was as if he knew exactly what his opponent was going to do before they even thought of it. Whether it was a forward about to lose the puck or a defenseman about to get outmaneuvered. Datsyuk's knack for stealing pucks, well, let's just say he stripped more players than a Sunrise strip club. And that's not even mentioning the countless jockstraps left dangling 3 rows deep in the rafters after Datsyuk undressed goalies, leaving them flailing like a fish out of water. When Siri knows the Magic Man plays for the Detroit Red Wings, well, that says it all. Datsyuk and dekes, the perfect two-way game, a legacy etched in brilliance. Pavel Datsyuk was without question one of the most electrifying players to ever grace the ice. And forgive me for the long-winded intro, but if you can't already tell, I absolutely loved Datsyuk growing up. I can't even begin to count the hours I spent on the ODR or in the driveway obsessively trying to perfect that legendary Datsyuk backhand toe drag. So let's not waste any more time and dive into the story of the Magic Man himself. Arguably the greatest two-way player of his generation, this is Pavel Datsyuk. Pavel Datsyuk's journey to the NHL wasn't typical. It was a masterclass in patience and discovery. Drafted late, very late in fact, 2 years after initially being eligible, Datsyuk was overlooked twice before the Detroit Red Wings, led by Ken Holland in his prime, made one of the most astute decisions in NHL history. In the 6th round of the 1997 NHL Draft, with the 171st overall pick, they secured a future legend. Standing at 5'11" and weighing around 195 pounds on a good day, Datsyuk wasn't exactly an imposing centerman, yet he possessed understated strength, capable of delivering those satisfying reverse hits that left opponents reeling. But don't get it twisted, he was the epitome of class, a true gentleman of the game. Over an illustrious 14-season career, spanning more than 950 games, Datsyuk accumulated just 228 penalty minutes. His style was clean, almost surgical, as he focused on perfecting his craft without the unnecessary distractions. In fact, during his tenure in the Russian Super League, Datsyuk showcased his skill by recording an impressive 57 points over 79 regular season games. He continued to excel in the playoffs too, contributing 11 points in just 13 games. When Datsyuk made the transition to the National Hockey League, he arrived with considerable hype around him. Pavel Datsyuk's rookie season offered a clear glimpse of the magic that lay ahead. At just 24 years old, the young forward showcased his potential by tallying 11 goals and 24 assists, amassing 35 points over 70 regular season games. His impact extended into the playoffs, where he contributed 3 goals and 3 assists, totaling 6 points in 21 games. It was a debut that hinted at a promising career in the making. The year 2002 marked a pivotal moment, a passing of the torch. The seasoned veteran players like Brandon Shanahan, Brett Hall, and others who had been the backbone of the team for years now were starting to step aside. Many veterans that had provided invaluable leadership and set a standard of excellence. Now they were handing that legacy down to the younger stars like Datsyuk and Henrik Zetterberg, who were ready to carry it forward. Meanwhile, the man they called the perfect human was entering what could be considered the second prime of his career, a phase that only solidified his place in NHL history as one of the game's greatest. His career, as you know, was nothing short of flawless. And of course, in 2002, Datsyuk would help the Wings win their 3rd Stanley Cup in 6 years. Now, talk about the start of a career. Now, before we dive in any deeper, boys, let's set the record straight. Pavel Datsyuk was never the type of player who would rack up 40 or 50 goals in a season. His focus was always on defense and playmaking. Now, that's not to say he couldn't score. He certainly had the skill and would score a lot. But his game was built on shutting down opponents and creating opportunities for others. And when your style is unlike anything hockey has ever seen, leaving everyone on the ice guessing at all times, you create a legacy and highlight reel as unforgettable as the Magic Man's. In 2003, Pavel Datsyuk tallied 12 goals and 51 points in 64 games, though his season was marred by a knee injury, a setback that would become all too familiar throughout his career. Despite his efforts, the Detroit Red Wings, who had been poised for another championship run, were unexpectedly swept in the first round by the mighty Ducks of Anaheim, falling short of their goal to defend their title and further solidify their legacy. By 2004, Datsyuk was beginning to emerge as one of Detroit's key players, earning more ice time and stirring up growing expectations. The question on everyone's mind: could Datsyuk, alongside Henrik Zetterberg, be the next dynamic duo to uphold Detroit's storied legacy of success as the old guard of hockey legends began to fade? That year, Datsyuk reached a personal milestone, scoring 30 goals for the first time in his career. Adding 38 assists, he finished the regular season with 68 points in 75 games, all while posting a stellar +35 rating. His remarkable performance earned him his first of 4 All-Star Game selections, a figure that seems almost surprising given his stature in the game. In the playoffs, Datsyuk would contribute with 6 assists in 12 games, but Detroit's run would be cut short when they were ousted by the Calgary Flames in a hard-fought 6-game series in the second round. After a triumphant return to the Super League during the NHL lockout, where Datsyuk played for Dynamo and led them to win the Russian Super League's equivalent of the Stanley Cup, he was ready to make an even bigger splash in the NHL. In 2006, Datsyuk truly broke out, posting a career-best performance up to this point that saw him score more than a point per game for the first time. With 28 goals and 59 assists and 87 points in 75 games, he finished 9th in the entire league scoring, and he had firmly established himself as the Magic Man, and his signature moves, the Datsyukian dekes, became more dazzling than ever, leaving fans in awe and sending a new generation scrambling to replicate his elusive style. 2006 also marked the beginning of Pavel Datsyuk's impressive run with the Lady Byng Trophy, as he claimed his first of 4 straight for being the league's most gentlemanly player. Now, quick side note about the Lady Byng for just 1 second. Let's be honest, it's one of those awards where the voters often say, okay, this guy's definitely one of the best, but maybe not quite good enough to win one of the major awards. And if you take a look at the history of the Lady Byng winners, it's hard not to see the pattern, right? Just a little observation I made over the years. Let me know if you guys agree with that take. Unfortunately for Detroit, their playoff hopes would be dashed once again, falling victim to an early upset at the hands of the Cinderella Oilers. In 2007, the Detroit Red Wings were firing on all cylinders, looking like an absolute powerhouse. Datsyuk, fresh off his second consecutive Lady Byng Trophy, once again finished the regular season with an impressive 87 points, matching his total from the year before. To top it off, he ranked 8th in the league with 60 assists. But despite their dominant regular season form, Detroit's playoff hopes were dashed by a Ducks team on a seemingly unstoppable path. A Ducks team that was just destined for greatness. However, one important thing to note was that Datsyuk had his best playoff performance up to this point, racking up 16 points in 18 games, an encouraging sign, even though it wasn't enough to propel the Wings further. And in 2008, the Magic Man finally answered the questions that had lingered ever since he first stepped into the league. This was his team, and the 2008 season would go down as one to remember. A chapter in hockey history that would remain etched in the hearts of Hockeytown forever.
Got his head up nice.
Whoa!
Oh, and Greer's
Whoa!
alive.
Gee.
As Datsyuk deked them both.
Holy
And Greer's hurt. Whoa, those sharks flatten one another as Datsyuk went
Datsyuk
right
swings away from Mike Johnson. Datsyuk shooting, he scores! He bounced it in over Legacy.
Score favors Detroit too, and maybe adding to it. Datsyuk on the steal. Alone scores! Datsyuk joined by Filppula. Datsyuk right wing. Waits, shoots, scores! Oh, a great Datsyukian deke right there, and a great shot by Pavel Datsyuk. Aimed at Datsyuk, got it back, here he is, Datsyuk right in, fake shoots, score! Oh, a Datsyukian deke, and it's a...
Datsyuk across the line against the breeze, wait, shoots, he scores!
Holds on, I'll tell you that. That's where you get in trouble. In comes Zetterberg, loose in front. Zetterberg pays it across. Datsyuk scores! Pavel Datsyuk with a beauty ties it up.
This is a 3-on-2 for Detroit. Zetterberg has Rapolsky breaking. Gave it on to Datsyuk and a backhander. Score! Zetterberg came up with it. Fed it to Datsyuk. He scores! What a play! A hat trick for Pavel Datsyuk. Jostling at the front of the net with Skinner, and a shot, score! Pavel Datsyuk 2-2.
With a remarkable 97 points, Datsyuk finished 4th in the NHL in scoring, and an impressive 66 assists would earn him the 2nd spot league-wide. On top of that, he claimed his first Selke Trophy and added another Lady Byng to his collection. But arguably, his most prized achievement was winning the prestigious Bud Light Plus Minus award. I guess he also secured his 2nd Stanley Cup ring as well. In the postseason, while Henrik Zetterberg's iconic Conn Smythe run stole the spotlight, Datsyuk arguably made a strong case for himself. He lit up the playoffs with 10 goals and 23 points in 22 games. In 2009, Pavel Datsyuk reached his career-high 97 points, once again, and that would place him 4th in the NHL in scoring. Once again, Detroit, riding high on this success, seemed poised to repeat as champions. And up until the very end, it appeared they would. That same year, Datsyuk earned both the Selke and Lady Byng trophies once again, further solidifying his place among the best two-way forwards to ever do it. 2009 was also the year that marked the potential of an incredible duo. Marian Hossa and Pavel Datsyuk became the greatest duo that never was.
Way back further and a nice pass on to Pavel Datsyuk. Watched there by Crosby, dipped away, guided it back in, and a little keep away is a shot by Datsyuk. Score!
Good as Brian Campbell is, Boyle may be better. Here comes Datsyuk. Pushed it back through.
Oh.
Scored!
Wow.
Great play.
What a shot.
Marian Hossa makes it 3-0.
That was easy right there. Look out here.
Here's Hossa and a steal.
That was easy decision for Draper to make there.
In front of the goal, Datsyuk scores! Josh Harding, Datsyuk in. Scores! What a Datsyukian dig that was!
My goodness
He
gracious.
undressed Josh Harding,
Undressed
and the
him.
Red Wings lead 1-0 in the shootout.
What is that hanging from the upper end? It's a big jockstrap. Oh my God.
So close. Not just to winning the cup after another deep playoff run that ended in a heartbreaking Game 7 loss to the same Penguins team they had defeated the year before, but this would be the closest the Magic Man would come to claiming the Hart Trophy as the league's MVP. Datsyuk would finish 3rd in voting, being just slightly edged out by a fellow Russian machine in Alex Ovechkin. In 2010, Pavel Datsyuk cemented his place in NHL history by winning his 3rd consecutive Selke Trophy. And despite posting an impressive 70 points in 80 regular season games, the Detroit Red Wings playoff run came to an unfortunate end in the 2nd round, as they were overmatched by the San Jose Sharks. However, it was in the opening round against the Phoenix Coyotes where Datsyuk truly showcased his magic. I remember watching those games vividly. The balls on this guy. Pulling off jaw-dropping moves in the high-stakes playoff atmosphere was something to behold. Datsyuk's confidence, his skill, his fearless approach to the game made me fall in love with him as a player. Like nobody else could pull this off. Datsyuk was the man.
To the outside, Datsyuk is in through the legs. A shot. Rebound, score! What a play! 2 times by Pavel Datsyuk.
And that's not a hot dog move by Datsyuk. He's creating a better scoring angle. He does it all the time.
He finished the postseason with 13 points in 12 games, but it was those moments, those plays, that etched him into my memory as one of the greats. In 2011, the injury bug struck, but it certainly didn't diminish Pavel Datsyuk's reputation as one of the NHL's top defensive forwards. Even while battling through these setbacks, he still managed to play in 56 games and recorded an impressive 59 points, finishing third in Selke Trophy voting despite missing nearly 30 games that season. As the playoffs arrived, unfortunately Detroit once again found themselves facing elimination against the San Jose Sharks. But they definitely made this series interesting, nearly pulling off an epic reverse sweep. Datsyuk, ever the playoff performer, rose to the occasion once again. Over the course of those 11 games, he delivered some of his most unforgettable goals, racking up 15 points and showing why he was still one of the league's most dominant forces. In 2012, Datsyuk faced another season plagued by injuries. Despite missing time once again, Datsyuk finished third in Selke Trophy voting, missing 12 games but still managing an impressive 67 points in 70 games. Unfortunately, Detroit's playoff magic was starting to fade as they faced a bitter first-round defeat at the hands of the Nashville Predators. The following 2013 season, one that would be shortened by a lockout, saw Datsyuk return to CSKA Moscow for the first part of the year before rejoining the Red Wings. He showed everyone once again why he was one of the best players from his era, finishing 8th in the league in scoring with 49 points in 47 games. Detroit's playoff run would come to an end in a 7-game battle against the Chicago Blackhawks. He contributed 9 points in 15 games, but the Wings' hopes fell short. During the 2014 season, Pavel Datsyuk was limited to just 45 games. Despite this, he still managed to rack up 37 points, including one of the most memorable highlight reel goals against the Bruins in the opening round of the playoffs. Unfortunately, the Red Wings' postseason hopes were spoiled as they lost to the Bruins in 5 games. By 2015, a somewhat healthier Datsyuk was back to form, recording 26 goals and 39 assists for 65 points in 63 games. Keep this in mind though, Datsyuk was now 37 years old, yet he continued to defy age, scoring goals and pulling off moves like this.
At the goal post. He's going the rebound.
Oh my God,
Datsyuk again.
Look at. Oh my.
In deep to Zetterberg and back to Datsyuk and a shot. He scores!
Through his career, back comes Abdelkader, giving it to Datsyuk. He's right in. He scores! Oh, and Datsyuk and Deke makes it 2-1. Here's a stolen puck. Datsyuk along with Helman Tatar. Datsyuk and he scores! Zetterberg finds Datsyuk. Shoot, scores! Datsyuk and Deke for the 85th time of 100. And scores!
Rebound, Eriksson at the point. Pavel Datsyuk. A wrister, he scores!
In 2016, Pavel Datsyuk was still the dominant two-way force he'd always been, racking up 49 points in just 66 games. It's hard not to see a connection between Datsyuk's departure and the slow decline of the Detroit Red Wings' winning tradition. That same year, after another playoff exit at the hands of the Tampa Bay Lightning, Detroit would face its last postseason appearance for a long time. Actually, their last postseason appearance as of the time I'm recording this video. It also marked Datsyuk's final game in the NHL, closing the chapter on a legendary career. For some time, rumors had been swirling that Pavel Datsyuk might be leaving Detroit to return home. It's hard to imagine now, but here was a player who left such a massive mark on the NHL and yet somehow never even reached 1,000 career games. Really says a lot. If it wasn't for injuries and lockouts, Datsyuk would certainly hit 1,000 games and eclipse 1,000 points with ease. In the summer of 2016, the NHL would be forever changed. On June 18th, Pavel Datsyuk, the magic man of the Detroit Red Wings, made an announcement that broke the hearts of fans everywhere around the hockey world. After years of dazzling fans with his incredible skills on both sides of the ice, Datsyuk revealed he would be leaving the Red Wings organization to return home to Russia. The decision, he explained, was driven by a desire to be closer to his family and likely play in a league with less physical toll, a move that would help prolong his career, one already marred by injury. Though it made sense, it was still a bitter blow to fans, knowing the Russian legend still had plenty of magic left in the tank. It felt like a kick in the nuts, seeing Datsyuk leave the NHL when his talent was far from spent. On July 8, 2016, Pavel Datsyuk signed with SKA St. Petersburg, the KHL's equivalent of the LA Dodgers. Datsyuk was back home, where he would continue to mesmerize fans with some of the most jaw-dropping goals hockey has ever seen. For the next 5 years, his signature Datsyukian dekes, those magical moves that defined his career, lit up arenas across Russia. In 229 games, he scored 49 goals and racked up 119 assists, totaling 168 points in the twilight of his legendary career. With every play, he left fans around the world laminating in the fact that we were deprived of even more of these iconic moments in the NHL. Man, it's a shame Datsyuk never came back to the NHL. The Arizona Coyotes would have been an absolute powerhouse, with Datsyuk alongside Chris Pronger and Marian Hossa. In 2021, Pavel Datsyuk officially called it a career, bringing an end to a legendary journey that spanned over 2 decades. His name became synonymous with unforgettable moments and highlight reel goals that lived in everyone's head rent-free. Fast forward to 2024, and Datsyuk's impact on the game only continues to resonate. Capping off a remarkable 14-year NHL career, he played in 953 games, tallying 918 points with 113 points in 154 playoff games. Along the way, he claimed 2 Stanley Cups, 4 Lady Byng Trophies, and 3 Selke Trophies. Recently, Datsyuk was honored with his induction into the Hockey Hall of Fame. What more can I say? Few players have ever been as universally beloved by both those who played the game and those who watched. His peers wished they could be him. Kids dreamed of playing like him. And while many have tried to follow in his footsteps, none will ever replicate the magic he brought to the ice. Simply put, there will never be another Magic Man.
Pavel Datsyuk, I think, is by far the best player in the league.
The one guy that still kind of gets to me is Pavel Datsyuk.
He's the smartest guy around, and you can, even in my age, I still can learn, from him.
Just invented moves that everyone's kind of doing now.
By far my favorite player growing up.
Having the opportunity to play against him, you never knew what to expect. He kept you on your toes.
And so, here it is, just as you boys asked for. I really hope you guys enjoyed this one. Let me know what you think. As always, a huge thank you for all the support. It truly means the world to me. Honestly, I never imagined anyone would care to hear me ramble on about the sport I love so much. And it might not seem like a lot to a lot of people out there, but we're almost at 6,000 subscribers. And that's because of all of you guys. It's awesome. I'm very, very fortunate to have this awesome little community. So yeah, you guys are awesome. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more if you haven't already, and I'll catch you boys in the next one.